The March stimulus bill is still being played out, and a bundle of checks are to be sent out this week to millions of Americans from the IRS through two different programs. One of those programs has an average payment size of $1,265, and the other has payments between $250 and $300. So these are some huge payments being sent out beginning this week. And let's talk about who will receive the payments and what the qualifying criteria are here. So like I mentioned, the March stimulus bill, the American Rescue Plan, is still being processed. And a big part of what's still being processed, and a big part of the stimulus bill in general, was unemployment refunds and the child tax credit. And that's what we're seeing some major payments this week and in the future months and weeks as well. So both of these are seeing some huge payments, and we're going to start off here with the unemployment refunds. The IRS had planned to already be done sending these payments out by now. However, as we've seen with the various rounds of stimulus checks, these things tend to take much longer than we expect. And now the payments are just starting to be sent out in these large batches. And this most recent batch is 4 million additional Americans to receive this unemployment refund. So what happened here is that in the March stimulus bill, it was outlined that Americans who received pandemic unemployment no longer needed to pay taxes on their unemployment for 2020. And this was kind of an issue because this was after some Americans had already paid their taxes for 2020. So what happens here is the IRS was in a situation where they needed to refund a batch of people, and they needed to tell another batch of people, hold off on filing your taxes because we need to, build some worksheets, and then you can file them, and then we'll know not to, take additional taxes here. And this really all comes down to the issue of a lot of people were receiving unemployment and didn't realize that taxes would be taken out of that unemployment like they are with regular wages. So they weren't budgeting for that. It's up to you to decide whether there should have been taxes or not on this kind of thing. But either way, there's no taxes up to $10,200 per individual through 2020 unemployment payments. Not for 2021. As of right now, you still have to pay normal taxes on the 2021 pandemic unemployment payments, just like you would with normal wages, but 2020 up to $10,200. Now we have the criteria here straight from the IRS website. We can see you are eligible for this payment if your modified adjusted gross income is less than $150,000. And this plan excludes income of up to $10,200 from your AGI, from your gross income. So you don't have to pay taxes on up to $10,200. And if you have a spouse, you both get that up to $10,200 credit, but that's only based on the individual. So if you had already paid taxes on your unemployment for 2020, you're waiting for a refund, you may be in this big bundle of 4 million Americans to receive that refund check starting sometime this week. The electronic payments are starting on the 14th, and then you can give that 3 to 5 days to actually process and land in your bank account. And then the paper checks are being sent out on the 16th. So you can expect that fairly soon if you had already paid taxes there. Also, I need to make a little channel announcement. And actually, now that I look at myself, it looks like I'm a floating head. It's probably not a good idea to wear a black shirt. But anyways, I just started a clips channel for the channel. So I know with summer's here, and a lot of times you don't have time to watch a 10, 15-minute video. So what I did here is I started a clips channel that is just the need to know information, real short videos, punchy, everything you need to know. And I just started this. So actually, if you go and subscribe right now, you'll be one of the first 100 subscribers. So go and check that out. And I'm posting information there that's, like I said, just short form versions of my videos. And also, if there's some news topic that comes up and it doesn't merit an entire video here on the main channel, I'm just recording a real quick, 1 to 2 minute video and put it on the clips channel. So you want to check that out. I'll have that linked down in the description below. Now, beyond the unemployment refunds, the IRS is also sending out child tax credit payments starting this week. And in order to explain this, CBS actually does a really good job of breaking this down. So I'm going to use their website as a kind of a visual guide as we go through all of this information. So the child tax credit was enhanced in a huge way under that March stimulus bill. Now, the child tax credit has been around for a while, and it was just enhanced in two major ways, both in the dollar amount you receive and the refundability. They made this credit fully refundable, which means if you owed no taxes, you can still receive the full credit. So the child tax credit is slated to begin its first ever monthly cash payments on July 15th. Again, we need to remember that even if the payment is set to be sent on the 15th, if it's an ACH, it could take 3 to 5 days after that. And these checks will be sent to eligible families with children ages 17 or younger. And here is what the boost is. The expansion boosts the credits from $2,000 per year per child to $3,600 if the child is under age 6, or $3,000 for children between the ages of 6 and 17. And this is what I mentioned about fully refundable. You can pause that and read it word for word if you like. And this has an income cutoff. So the income cutoff is $75,000 for single taxpayers, just like the stimulus check, $150,000 for joint filers, and then it's phased down from there by $50 for every $1,000 in adjusted gross income after those limits, after the $75,000 and the $150,000. And when will I get my payment? Like I said, it's starting on July 15th, but give it a few days after that. And paper checks are to be sent out after that. However, as we know, paper checks can take a while to actually be sent. And then what's really interesting here is the first 6 months of the year, you'll receive that on your 2021 tax return, but the second 6 months of the year, you'll receive monthly payments. So these are the dates for the monthly payments. This is the one that's coming up. And then the rest of the months of the year, you'll receive that $250 to $300 per child as a direct deposit if you receive, electronic payments on those days. So it's kind of a unique program and something that we really haven't seen before. And I know the Biden administration has had a ton of discussion about making this permanent, making this enhanced credit permanent. So we'll see if that happens. It's very unique. How will you receive these payments? Again, you'll receive electronically. If you paid your taxes electronically, that's how you'll receive it. If you pay your taxes with paper, which they do not recommend doing that anymore, especially with all the backlogs, then you will receive a paper check. And you actually can make sure that they have your correct bank information. They have this portal here that you can log into. I'll have this linked down in the description so you can check to make sure, hey, is my deposit actually going to the proper place, and you know that you're receiving these payments. So this will be really interesting to see how exactly this pans out. As of right now, as far as just stimulus goes, I know I've been receiving a lot of comments as to like, hey, why aren't you doing like daily updates on the fourth stimulus check anymore? And it really comes down to the fact that there's not as much news. Like I'm not going to post a video every single day saying, hey, this thing's going to happen, unless I actually feel like there's movement and, there's something happening there. And there's just simply less news. There's less going on with these things. And now there are far more inflation concerns. Now, we aren't receiving many inflation concerns from people like the Treasury and the Fed, which in my opinion should be the people who are the most concerned about inflation. But the general population is concerned. And now with the CPI data coming out and the highest monthly inflation that we've seen, I know CPI isn't perfect, but it's what we have to work with. It's a little bit scary, and I think that actually lowers the odds of more stimulus being passed, if we're being completely honest, because now there's just more concerns about the economy simply overheating with all the money that's already been pumped in the economy, and we're seeing recovery and people starting to spend more and more. So I will update if there are major updates, but I can't in good faith, write like clickbait videos and titles about something that I don't, unless there's actually some action and something happening. I just don't feel right, talking about it, trying to promise something every single day, even though I know I would get clicks on it. So that's the reasoning why I don't, post as many videos on that kind of stuff anymore. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with someone. Go ahead and share it. Check out the Clips channel. Check out some various offers like free stocks, free crypto, link down in the description. And I would just like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.